Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 847.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about 7 places to live abroad and work remotely. Because who doesn't miss traveling? I mean, it's been almost a year since I went to Santa Barbara on a trip, and we just went last weekend to Del Mar near San Diego and stayed at the lovely Fairmont Hotel there in Del Mar. It was nearly empty. The entire hotel probably had less than 30% occupancy, I would say. We didn't see many other people there. And it was a decision I made for my sister's birthday, as California is just on the verge of reopening everything up. Just today, Texas announced they are going to be 100% open again, and San Francisco has announced that they are reopening indoor restaurants, places to work out, and other inside areas that have been closed. So I think here in Southern California, we will see that happen very quickly too. Of course, we did still social distance and wear our masks and eat outside. But for my sister's birthday, I wanted to take her somewhere and get away from it all. And we brought our dogs, went out for dinner a couple times, and had a great time. Did a little touring around Del Mar and Solana Beach and Cardiff by the Sea. It was lovely. It was beautiful. So it was really good and nice and restful to get away. And I think everybody's missing traveling a bit, but also not wanting to put themselves at risk. So what do? Well, that's why I wanted to do this podcast today, because I found this great article about where you might be able to travel abroad and work remotely. That's the best of both worlds, right? So you get a little bit of travel in, you're away from home, you have beautiful scenery, but you might be able to stay there for some length of time and actually work for a while away from home. So this article comes to us from CNBC.com, and it was written by Monica Buchanan Petrelli. And it says, more travel hotspots are opening to people who work from home. People working from home have more options for making their living abroad than ever before. In addition to the countries that initially opened to remote workers last year, new destinations have launched programs to tempt workers to ditch their home offices for tropical shores and year-round sun. What's necessary? Employment outside of the intended destination, a must. Proof of sufficient funds to support a long-term stay, usually required. Medical insurance, a good idea, even if it isn't compulsory. And negative COVID tests, of course. Add in application fees and a few other perfunctory requirements, and travelers can secure beachside workplaces through the winter of 2022. Here are 7 new options. First, Montserrat. Tourists can't get into Montserrat right now, but remote workers can. Announced on January 29th, the Montserrat Remote Worker Stamp lets travelers live and work on the tiny Caribbean island for up to 12 months. The response to this initiative has been extremely positive, Warren Solomon, Montserrat's Director of Tourism, told CNBC Global Traveler. The geographic spread of the applicants matches our main international source markets, namely the US, Canada, UK, and Europe. Remote workers, including freelancers and consultants, must have medical insurance and an annual income of at least $70,000. Fees are $500 for individuals or $750 or higher for families to apply. Applicants know within a week if they are approved. One of 14 British overseas territories, Montserrat is home to around 5,000 people, which means that everyone knows everyone, according to the island's tourism website. Remote workers must test negative for COVID-19 and quarantine for 14 days at an accommodation of their choice. Only 20 COVID cases have been confirmed on the island to date. Stamps cannot be renewed, although workers can reapply to stay another year. Second location, the Bahamas. People who think they may tire of staying on one island can apply for the Bahama Extended Access Travel Stay Program. The new 12-month residency permit, called BEATS for short, lets remote workers and students live and move between 16 different islands in the Bahamas, including Andros, the Exumas, Eleuthera, and Paradise Island. Applications are processed within 5 days and cost $25 per person. Workers must provide proof of employment, while students need to show evidence of school enrollment and funds to cover living and travel expenses. For additional fees, students can access the University of the Bahamas for tech support and other educational services. If approved, the main applicant must pay $1,000 and $500 for every accompanying dependent. Renewals are possible for a maximum stay of up to 3 years. Travelers need a negative COVID-19 test result taken no more than 5 days prior to arriving to apply for a Bahamas Travel Health Visa, which is an additional requirement. Starting November 1st this year, visitors no longer need to quarantine upon arrival. Number 3, Dubai. All nationalities can apply for Dubai's new remote working program provided they make $5,000 per month. Travelers who are unsure about committing to the program can enter Dubai on a tourist visa, then apply for the work program during their stay. At $287 to apply, fees are lower than most other programs. Applicants must have health insurance that is valid in the United Arab Emirates and show proof of income in the form of pay slips and bank statements. Like other programs, workers can leave and re-enter at will, but stays may be revoked if travelers leave for 6 continuous months. Workers can hire nannies and drivers, rent cars, and enroll their children into Dubai's school system. To enter Dubai, travelers must arrive with a negative PCR, polymerase chain reaction, test taken no more than 72 hours prior to departing. Additional tests may be required upon landing, and residents of South Africa or Nigeria are currently restricted from entering. The Emirate enacted strict new measures earlier this month to curb record-breaking infection rates that followed a highly criticized December travel season. The rise in infections coincides with a robust vaccination campaign whereby the UAE is second only to Israel in the percentage of its population that has been vaccinated. Number 4, Mauritius. Remote workers seeking a COVID-safe place to ride out the pandemic can consider Mauritius, according to local tourism officials on the island nation located to the southeast of Africa. The country of nearly 1.3 million people has recorded 610 COVID cases to date, few of which have occurred in 2021. Digital nomads and retirees willing to follow its rigorous health measures can apply for a premium visa to stay for 1 year, according to the country's official tourism website. To enter, travelers must quarantine for 2 weeks and pass 4 COVID-19 tests. There is no fee to apply, though applicants need long-term accommodation plans, travel and health insurance, and proof of sufficient funds to stay in Mauritius, which is defined as at least $1,500 in monthly income. Savings of $18,000 is sufficient, said Mohamed Mushin Malobakas from Economic Development Board Mauritius. The new visas, which launched in November 2020, are open to residents of more than 100 nations, although travelers who have been in the UK, South Africa, Japan, and Brazil in the past 15 days cannot enter until February 28th. Well, we're past February 28th, so that's a good thing. Number 5, Croatia. As expected, Croatia started welcoming digital nomads in January. Applying to live in this popular Mediterranean coastal country isn't as simple as other destinations. However, this may be changing soon, said Jan de Jong, president of Digital Nomad Association Croatia. At this moment, it is only possible to apply at the local police station in Croatia, de Jong told CNBC. We expect that by March we can start accepting online applications. Remote workers who require a separate visa to enter Croatia can apply for the program at the nearest Croatian embassy or consulate. There are 10 in the U.S., but De Jong said they can email documents to police stations in Croatia too. Workers must also show they have enough money to support their stay, but this can be proven through monthly income or savings, said De Jong. The minimum amount you need to have per month is about $2,590, he said. For those digital nomads who don't have a steady income every month, it would also be enough to show you have enough savings for those 12 months, meaning around $31,000. Remote workers should also plan to stay for no more than a year. Temporary stays for digital nomads are granted for up to a year, possibly even less, and cannot be extended, according to a government website. Workers can reapply 6 months after a previous stay has expired. Number 6, Madeira. Madeira isn't just welcoming digital nomads, it hopes to form an entire community for them. The archipelago, which is an autonomous region of Portugal located 320 miles from Morocco, is home to an initiative called Digital Nomads Madeira. The pilot program is providing free working space in the village of Ponta do Sol from February 1st to June 30th. The working space is capable of welcoming 30 to 40 people daily, said Michaela Vieira, a project manager with Startup Madeira, an organization working with the local government to develop the program. So far, we've received over 4,800 resignations from more than 90 countries. Vieira said that more than 250 digital nomads are currently working on the island, either in the free workspaces or in cafes and restaurants with free Wi-Fi. Most are from the European Union or Schengen area countries due to EU travel restrictions. Still, it's possible for others to join a popular visa used by digital nomads, the D7, said Vieira, referencing the visa that allows non-EU citizens to get Portuguese residency provided they make at least $9,250 in annual passive, not salary-derived, income. And finally, Puerto Rico. Although no official program exists, Puerto Rico is open to American remote workers who don't want to be bothered by application forms or fees. As an unincorporated territory of the United States, Puerto Rico allows U.S. citizens to enter freely. They don't need a passport to visit and can even bring along their pets, according to Discover Puerto Rico, the island's official destination marketing organization. American travelers must show proof of a negative PCR test result to enter, but COVID tests aren't needed to return to the U.S. The territory has several co-working spaces and hotels with packages catered to remote workers. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has deemed Puerto Rico a Level 4 travel destination and recommends against traveling there. To date, the territory of 3 million people has confirmed more than 133,000 COVID cases. End of article. And I will put a link to this article in the show notes because it has all kinds of additional links inside the article for finding out more information, links to the websites of certain countries, for example. So there's all kinds of resources in this article. So if you want to explore this a little further, I highly recommend you take a look at this article and click through to some of the resources. That'll be in the show notes and on my website at lindapjones.com. And while you're there, check out all my podcasts on my podcast page. My full library of all of my podcasts are there. They're not all on Apple Podcasts, but they are all on my website. So check it out at lindapjones.com/podcasts. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.